Sarcopenia is one of those things that most people never see coming until it has already taken hold. It doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in slowly, quietly, year after year, stealing away your strength a little at a time. You don't notice the first few pounds of muscle that disappear. You might shrug off the way stairs suddenly feel steeper, or how getting up from the floor takes more effort than it used to. Then one day, you realize you're weaker than you've ever been, and it didn't come from laziness or lack of effort. It came from biology quietly changing behind the scenes. As we age, our bodies naturally begin to break down muscle faster than we build it. This imbalance begins as early as our 40s, but it accelerates dramatically after 60. Muscle tissue is metabolically active, meaning it constantly turns over, breaking down and rebuilding. In younger years, the rebuilding side wins out even with small amounts of protein or activity. But with age, the body becomes less sensitive to those small triggers. The same amount of protein that used to build muscle barely maintains it now, and long periods of sitting or inactivity magnify the loss. What you end up with is a slow leak in your strength that can lead to frailty, weakness, and loss of independence. Sarcopenia isn't just about vanity or appearance, it affects your entire quality of life. Muscle is what keeps you steady on your feet, lets you carry groceries, climb steps, open jars, and get up from a chair without struggling. It's what absorbs the impact if you trip, and what lets you catch yourself before you fall. When muscle disappears, every daily task becomes harder and falls become more dangerous. Broken bones, hospital stays, and long-term disability often follow, not because people stop living healthy lives, but because their muscles quietly withered away without them realizing it. The saddest part is that sarcopenia is often accepted as just getting old, but it doesn't have to be. Muscle is highly adaptable. Even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond, your body can respond to the right signals, especially strength-focused movement and protein-rich nutrition. Studies show that older adults who add resistance training and higher protein intake can build muscle just like younger people do. It may be slower, but it works. The key is realizing that you have to be intentional. You can't just hope muscle will stay with you on its own. The good news is that you have far more control than you've been told. Sarcopenia is not an unavoidable fate. It's a signal that your body needs more of what once came easy, more movement that challenges your muscles and more protein to rebuild them. It's not about bodybuilders or gyms. It's about staying strong enough to live life on your terms. Stopping sarcopenia isn't about chasing youth. It's about protecting your independence, your freedom, and your dignity. And that fight is absolutely worth it. After the age of 60, protein stops being just another nutrient on your plate and becomes something much more critical. It becomes the lifeline that keeps your body strong, mobile, and resilient. What many people don't realize is that as we get older, our bodies go through a natural change called anabolic resistance. This means that the same small amount of protein that used to easily build and repair muscle when you were younger now has a much weaker effect. The body simply doesn't respond as powerfully to small doses anymore, and if you don't adjust for that, you gradually lose muscle without even noticing it's happening.
This loss of muscle isn't just about strength, it affects every part of your health. Muscle tissue acts like a metabolic engine. It helps control blood sugar, supports your immune system, protects your bones, and keeps your balance stable. When muscle starts to disappear, everything else starts slipping too. Blood sugar control becomes harder, your risk of falls and fractures goes up, and your body becomes less efficient at burning fat or repairing itself after an illness or injury. What used to be a simple cold can knock you down for weeks because your system no longer has the reserve strength to fight back quickly.
The tricky part is that many older adults actually eat less protein than they did in their younger years. Appetite often declines with age, chewing can become harder, and old habits of light eating can linger. But light eating works against you when your body's demand for protein is higher than ever. Research shows that while a younger person might build muscle from 20 grams of protein in a meal, an older adult may need 30 to 40 grams in that same meal to trigger the same muscle building response. That's why you often see older adults losing muscle even when they think they are eating enough. Their definition of enough is stuck in the past. Protein also becomes more important because recovery slows down with age. Every bump, bruise, or strain takes longer to heal, and the body needs the building blocks of protein, amino acids to rebuild damaged tissue. Without enough of them, healing stalls and you stay sore and weak much longer than you should. Adequate protein shortens recovery time, helps you stay active, and reduces the risk of injuries becoming permanent setbacks. It is not just about building muscle, it's about repairing, protecting, and maintaining every system in your body. When you give your body the protein it truly needs after 60, you are not just feeding muscles, you are preserving your independence. The ability to stand up from a chair, carry your own groceries, or walk upstairs without help all depends on maintaining muscle, and that depends on protein. Getting older does not mean getting weaker. It just means you need to be smarter about what you eat. Protein is no longer optional. It's your daily armor against decline. Eggs have long been considered one of nature's perfect foods, and for good reason. They're packed with high-quality protein, healthy fats, and vital nutrients like choline, B vitamins, and selenium. For many people, they're an easy, affordable way to add protein to meals without much effort. Scrambled, boiled, poached, or folded into an omelet, eggs are versatile and satisfying. But while eggs are an excellent food, relying on them alone as your primary source of protein, especially as you age, isn't enough to protect you from the muscle loss that often comes with getting older. Each egg contains about 6 to 7 grams of protein. That might sound like a lot, but when you look at how much protein an older adult truly needs to maintain or build muscle, it quickly becomes clear why eggs alone can't carry the load. To hit the recommended 90 to 20 grams of protein per day that many people over 60 should aim for, you would have to eat well over a dozen eggs. That's a lot of food to get through every single day, and most people simply aren't going to do that. Even if you could, it would be hard on your digestion, and it wouldn't give you the full range of amino acid profiles your muscles need to grow and repair efficiently. Another issue is how older bodies respond to protein. As you age, your muscles become less sensitive to small doses of protein, a problem called anabolic resistance. This means that small amounts scattered throughout the day don't trigger much muscle building. Larger, concentrated doses work better. A single egg or two here and there just doesn't provide enough of a signal to tell your muscles to start rebuilding themselves. You'd have to eat eggs in large quantities in one sitting to reach that threshold, which isn't practical or enjoyable for most people. There's also the misconception that because eggs are labeled as a complete protein, they must be the best and only thing you need. While they are complete, meaning they have all 9 essential amino acids, they are not concentrated enough to deliver the larger amounts of protein required to combat muscle loss on their own. Think of eggs as a great supporting player on your plate, not the entire team. They're excellent as part of a balanced, protein-rich diet that includes other high-protein foods like lean meats, fish, dairy, legumes, or concentrated protein sources such as whey. The bottom line is that eggs are great, but they're not a magic bullet. Eating them is helpful, but not sufficient to stop the steady drain of muscle that happens with aging. They work best when they're part of a bigger, more deliberate strategy, one that gives your body the generous amounts of protein it truly needs every single day. Eggs can support your strength, but they can't carry the whole weight of it. Whey protein is one of the most powerful tools you can use to fight age-related muscle loss, and it stands out for a simple reason. It delivers an incredibly concentrated amount of high-quality protein in a form your body can absorb quickly and use immediately. While traditional protein sources like eggs, chicken, or beans are all excellent foods, they contain a lot of extra volume, calories, or fiber that can make it difficult to eat the large amounts needed to reach your protein goals, especially as appetite often decreases with age. Whey protein solves this problem by packing a large dose of complete protein into a small, easy-to-consume serving. Gram for gram, it can provide nearly 20 times the protein density of eggs, meaning you can meet your body's needs without feeling stuffed or overwhelmed by huge portions of food. Another reason whey protein is so effective is its rapid absorption. Unlike other proteins that can take hours to break down and be used by the body, whey is digested and absorbed within minutes. This makes it ideal for older adults whose bodies need immediate access to amino acids after activity to trigger muscle repair and growth. When you drink a whey protein shake after walking, strength training, or even doing chores that work your muscles, it goes straight into your bloodstream and begins fueling recovery almost right away. That fast delivery gives your muscles the best chance to rebuild stronger, which is crucial for stopping sarcopenia in its tracks. Whey protein is also rich in leucine, an amino acid that acts like the ignition switch for muscle building. Leucine signals your body to start muscle protein synthesis, the process of repairing and growing muscle fibers. Older adults need more leucine to get the same effect that younger people get from smaller amounts, and whey happens to be one of the richest natural sources. This is a major advantage because it means each scoop of whey delivers a powerful stimulus to your muscles, something most whole foods can't match without consuming massive amounts. For people concerned about digestion or tolerance, whey is generally very gentle on the stomach when used in moderate amounts. Many powders today are filtered to remove most of the lactose, making them suitable even for people who are lactose sensitive. It mixes easily into water, milk, or smoothies and takes only a few minutes to prepare, which is perfect for seniors who don't want to spend hours in the kitchen. Whey protein isn't meant to replace real food, but it's an efficient supplement that fills the gap between what you're currently eating and what your muscles truly need. It's simple, fast, and highly effective. Adding just 1 or 2 scoops a day can make a dramatic difference in your strength, energy, and independence. It's not about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about giving your body the raw material it desperately needs to stay strong, mobile, and resilient as the years go on. Using whey protein safely and effectively every day starts with understanding that it's not a magic powder or a replacement for real food. It's simply a highly concentrated tool to help you reach your daily protein needs. The key is to fit it into your routine in a way that's consistent, comfortable, and balanced. The first step is choosing a good quality whey protein. Look for a brand that lists only a few simple ingredients, ideally just whey protein concentrate or isolate without added sugars, artificial sweeteners, or unnecessary fillers. If you're sensitive to lactose, a whey isolate is usually the better choice because it has most of the lactose removed, making it easier to digest. Once you've chosen your whey, the next step is deciding when to use it. The best time is usually after any type of physical activity, whether it's a walk, resistance exercises, yard work, or even housework that gets your muscles moving. This is when your muscles are primed to absorb protein and use it for repair. Mixing 1 scoop of whey in water or milk within 30 to 60 minutes after activity can help trigger muscle rebuilding and speed recovery. If you don't exercise that day, it's still useful to take a scoop between meals to keep your protein intake consistent and support muscle maintenance. Portion control is important. 1 scoop usually contains about 20 to 25 grams of protein, which is a solid boost, but not excessive. Most older adults do well with 1 to 2 scoops per day, depending on how much protein they're getting from food. It's better to spread your protein across the day than to load it all at once, because your body builds muscle more effectively when protein is spaced out in moderate doses. A scoop in the morning and another later in the day works well for many people. It's also helpful to think of whey protein as part of a meal rather than a standalone snack. Blend it with berries, nut butter, or Greek yogurt to make a more complete shake with fiber and healthy fats, which helps keep your blood sugar stable and your energy steady. If you prefer something simple, just stir it into milk or water and drink it alongside a small balanced meal. This keeps your nutrition balanced and prevents protein from crowding out other important nutrients. Hydration is another part of using whey safely. Because protein metabolism produces waste products that your kidneys must filter, drinking enough water throughout the day is essential. This isn't usually a problem for healthy people, but staying hydrated helps your body handle protein more comfortably. If you have kidney disease or any chronic condition, it's wise to check with your doctor before adding supplements. When used this way, clean, source, moderate amounts, timed after activity, and spaced consistently, whey protein becomes a powerful ally for maintaining strength. It's safe, convenient, and effective, and it helps fill the gap between what you eat and what your muscles actually need every day. Strength is often thought of as just muscle size or the ability to lift heavy weights, but after 60, strength becomes something much deeper. It becomes your independence. It's not about building a body that looks strong. It's about building a body that lets you live freely, move confidently, and take care of yourself without depending on others. Every small bit of strength you build now pays you back in the currency of freedom. It's the difference between walking across a room with steady balance or shuffling slowly while clinging to the wall. It's the difference between bending down to pick something up or waiting for someone else to do it for you. Muscle is the engine behind every simple task in daily life. Getting out of a chair requires leg and core strength. Carrying groceries calls on your arms, back, and grip. Climbing stairs demands coordination and power from your legs and hips. When that strength fades, life starts to shrink. You may avoid outings because you fear the steps, skip walks because you're unsure of your balance, or stop cooking because carrying pots and pans feels too heavy. This slow retreat isn't caused by age itself, it's caused by lost muscle. And the loss of strength always leads to the loss of freedom if it's left unchecked. The encouraging truth is that strength can be rebuilt at any age. Even people in their 70s, 80s, and beyond can regain muscle and function with consistent effort. The body responds to challenges, and when you feed it enough protein and give your muscles reasons to work, they adapt. It may not happen as quickly as it once did, but it does happen. Small actions like standing from a chair without using your hands, walking with purpose every day, or doing light resistance exercises can trigger that rebuilding process. Over time, these small efforts add up to a powerful defense against frailty. Gaining strength also protects you from the injuries that often steal independence. Strong muscles cushion your joints, support your spine, and help you catch yourself if you stumble. Falls are one of the leading causes of disability in older adults, and the best prevention isn't luck, it's muscle. When your legs are strong, your reflexes are quicker and your body can recover from slips before they become dangerous.